Please watch this video in conjunction with the product manual. The installation of the NF hot water heater and air heater is explained below. The installation of the gas type hot water heater and air integrated machine is divided into 5-way and 2-body, that is, gas pipeline, water supply pipeline, electrical wiring, intake and exhaust pipeline, warm air pipeline, main box, liquefied gas tank body. 1. Gas pipeline. The liquefied petroleum gas tank is connected to the main engine through explosion-proof valves, gas hoses, gas filters, decompression and anti-collision valves, pipeline valves, and precision steel pipes. Explosion-proof valve. When the gas high-pressure hose leaks, its internal valve is automatically closed, so that the liquefied gas tank cannot output liquefied gas to the host. Since the inside of the explosion-proof valve is a one-way valve, it can also effectively prevent the backflow of liquefied gas. Gas filter. It is used to filter impurities in the gas. The pressure-reducing and anti-collision valve has two functions. One is to reduce the output air pressure of the liquefied gas tank to 30 bar for use by the host. The second is that when the vehicle collides, its internal valve is automatically closed, effectively preventing the leakage of liquefied gas. Note that in order to ensure the continuous and stable output of the pressure-reducing valve of 30 bar, the installation position of the pressure-reducing valve must be higher than the gas outlet of the liquefied gas tank. Pipeline valve. Close this valve when the hot water heater and air heater are not applicable to improve the safety of using liquefied gas. The precision steel pipe is used to transport the liquefied gas channel. After shearing and bending, the inner wall of the pipe should be cleaned to prevent foreign matter from entering the main engine and causing malfunction. 2. Water supply pipeline. Under the action of the vehicle's suction pump, the cold water enters the main engine water tank through the pressure relief valve and the quick connect pipeline, and the heated hot water is led to the faucet through the hot water pipeline connected to the intake valve for use by the passengers. 1. The pressure relief valve has two functions. One is that when the pressure in the water tank of the main engine reaches 0.35 MPa, the excess pressure is released from the pipeline connected to the pressure relief port to the outdoors. Second, when the output pressure of the suction pump reaches 0.35 MPa, the excess pressure is released from the pipeline connected to the pressure relief port to the outdoors. Therefore, the output water pressure of the suction pump is required to be less than 0.35 MPa. 2. Antifreeze drain valve. When the ambient temperature of the antifreeze drain valve reaches 1 to 4 degrees C, its internal valve automatically opens, and the water in the main engine water tank is discharged to the outdoors through the pipeline. Prevent damage to the main engine water tank and pipeline due to icing. 3. Ball valve. Use a ball valve when manual drainage is required. 4. Water inlet valve. When the antifreeze drain valve or ball valve drains water outdoors, the water pressure decreases, the water inlet valve opens, and air enters the main engine water tank, making the water in the main engine water tank easier to drain. 3. Electrical wiring. 1. The DC12V positive and negative terminals on the main board need to be connected to the positive and negative electrodes of the DC12V power supply through the power lead. 2. The external temperature sensor terminal on the main board is connected to the external temperature sensor through a lead, and the two LEDs do not distinguish between positive and negative. The external temperature sensor should be installed on a vertical wall surrounded by free airflow. It is usually installed above the inside of the passenger door of the vehicle. 3. Both sockets on the main board can be connected to the LCD switch through lead wires, and the LCD switch should be installed in a position that is convenient for operation. Open the 74 x 84 mm rectangular opening on the vertical wall, then fix the switch frame, and finally fix the liquid crystal switch on the switch frame. The electric heating tube power cord is connected to 220V AC power supply. The red wire is connected to the live wire, the black wire is connected to the neutral wire, and the green-yellow wire is connected to the ground wire. 4. Intake and exhaust pipes. Under the action of the combustion supporting fan, the outside air enters the combustion chamber through the exhaust pipe to participate in the combustion, and the exhaust gas produced by the combustion is discharged to the outdoors through the exhaust pipe. 1. end of the exhaust pipe in the intake pipe is fixed on the exhaust port of the main engine, and the other end is fixed on the intake and exhaust port body. 2. One end of the intake pipe outside the exhaust pipe is fixed on the air intake port of the main engine, and the other end is fixed on the intake and exhaust port body. The middle of the intake pipe needs to be fixed with a clamp to prevent vibration. 3. The intake and exhaust ports are installed on the wall of the vehicle. The intake and exhaust pipes lead the intake and exhaust to the outdoors through the intake and exhaust ports. 4. The intake and exhaust port cover is installed on the intake and exhaust port body to prevent the intake of exhaust gas. The installation of the exhaust port body needs to pay attention to the following points. 1. When the pipe length is greater than or equal to 0.6 meters and less than 1 meter, the intake and exhaust ports should be installed below the red horizontal line and meet the following requirements. 2. When the pipe length is greater than or equal to 1 meter and less than or equal to 2 meters, the intake and exhaust ports should be installed above the red horizontal line and meet the following requirements. Note, it is forbidden to install the intake and exhaust ports on the vehicle floor. Warm air pipeline under the action of the heating fan. The warm air is guided to the vehicle cabin through the 4 warm air pipelines. As shown in the figure, multiple air outlets can be installed on each heating pipe, and the following points should be noted. 1. 4 independent heater pipes must be connected to the host, and each heater pipe must be connected to at least 1 air outlet. 2. If 1 air outlet is connected to each heater pipe, the 4 air outlets must be fully opened when the host is in heating state to avoid overheating of the host. 3. As shown in the figure, when the length of the heater pipe is less than or equal to 50 centimeters, the heater pipe must be folded into a U-shaped bend and cannot be straightened. The main box the host is not allowed to be installed in a confined space, and an air inlet with an area of not less than 150 square centimeters must be opened on the partition. In order to enable users to have a better comfortable experience, the air inlet can be installed on the other 3-sided partitions, far away from the fan motor, and the flame retardant sound insulation cotton can be installed around the mainframe and on the upper and lower partitions. Liquefied gas tank box 1. The storage space of the liquefied gas tank must be hermetically isolated from the passenger space and heating components. 2. Liquefied gas tanks, gas filters, pressure-reducing and anti-collision valves, and precision steel pipes must all be fixed to prevent the vehicle from shaking during driving. 3. Since the density of liquefied gas is greater than that of air tightness, it is necessary to open an overflow not less than 100 square centimeters to the outdoors on the bottom plate. The installation of the fuel-based air and water combi heater is divided into 5-way and 1 body, namely, fuel pipeline, water supply pipeline, electrical wiring, intake and exhaust pipeline, heating air pipeline, and main engine cabinet. Since the main difference between the fuel oil type and the gas type is the fuel oil pipeline, only the fuel oil pipeline will be explained below. For other pipelines, circuits and mainframe cabinet, please refer to the installation of the gas-fired hot water heater and air heater. Fuel line. The fuel tank is connected to the main engine through a suction pipe, a fuel pipe joint, a blue fuel pipe, a fuel filter, a fuel pump, a buffer, and a white fuel pipe one-way valve. Need to pay attention to the following points when installing. 1. The length of the blue oil pipeline ranges from 0.5 to 1.2 meters. 2. The length of the white oil pipeline ranges from 2 to 7 meters. 3. The distance between the suction pipe port and the bottom of the fuel tank is not less than 25 millimeters. 4. The fuel filter must be installed vertically. 5. The white oil pipe can be connected only when the fuel filter, blue oil pipe, and white oil pipe are full of fuel. The purpose of the main engine oil inlet pipe is to discharge the air in the oil circuit for the main engine to start, otherwise it will malfunction. 6. The oil pipe in each oil pipe joint must be flattened with a sharp knife to ensure that its cross-section is flat, and it is required that there is no gap between the oil pipe and the oil suction pipe, fuel filter, oil pump, buffer, and main engine oil inlet pipe. 7. The oil pump with buffer must be installed horizontally. 8. As shown in the figure, the buffer is allowed to rotate 90 degrees to the left or right.